Hi everyone. Here's a quick video on how we could turn one of our drawings into something that we could color in. Let's say if we use the pen tool, a lot of times it'll be all your shapes will be a bunch of small lines, but how do we kind of merge them all together and make them into closed shapes where we can fill it with color? All right. Just to let you know, all of the instructions are on my website. So if you go over here to this one, these instructions are going to be step 1 through 9, everything I go over. If you follow these step by step, if you need to refer to after or along as while you're following along on this video. All right, so let's go and get started. Now, first off, I'm going to make a copy. This was our, pretend this is your file where you have the 12 objects that you traced. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of this. This is going to be a separate assignment. So I want to make a whole copy of this file so we can still have the 12 traces. Then we have the one just that we're going to color in, just to keep it separate and keep it backed up. So the first thing I'm going to do is save what I got right now. I'm going to do one last final save. And then I'm going to go to File, Save As. Now, there's Save As and Save a Copy. It's pretty much exactly the same thing. A lot of programs don't have Save a Copy, but I'm just going to click Save As. Either one will work. Save As, and right now it's called Tree Trace 1. Just so I have a backup for this one, I'm going to call it Tree Trace 2, and I'm going to just say color. This is the one I'm going to add in. All right, so now so I'll have two files. All right, so if we ever need to go back, I still have my original Tree Trace 1. Now I'm going to be super cautious again. Before we get started, I'm going to make within this copy of the file, I'm actually going to make a copy of this tree before we get started. So let's select all, hold the Alt key on our keyboard, oops, let me try that one more time. Select all, hold Alt, drag it on over, and there's our copy. If we ever need to go back to it, this is going to be our original. All right, let's zoom in here and get going. All right, so here are your steps. Step 1, select it all. Let me zoom in real quick. As you can see right now, everything is just a path with a stroke that we used the paintbrush tool. So it's a single stroke with a black stroke or black outline onto this, or a black stroke. All right. So you'll see how this changes. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So we select all, and then we're going to go to Object, Expand Appearance, Object, Expand, and then we have to open up our Pathfinder toolbar, and the very first one, which is Unite. And this is where some of the magic really happens. As you can see, this is now, it has a path on each side. There's a path here on each side, and it's actually a black fill, all right? And all these little lines that made up the tree is now one continuous line. Now, if we want, right now, this shape is just a black fill. We could change the color of everything that's inside our paths right now. But I'm going to leave it as black. But right now, we can't fill it in. We have this shape here, but we can't change the color. There's nothing to select in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the live, come over here to Shape Builder tool, and it's going to be the live paint bucket. All right. The way this live paint bucket works is literally, it's like you are spilling a can of paint into your drawing. So let me change the color here. I got my swatches open. I'm going to just change this to a green, and I come here and dump all the paint inside. Oops, nothing happened. Mistake. Got to make sure your drawing is selected. Live paint bucket. Change it to green. Click to dump it inside. Now, as you can see, this is probably not exactly what I wanted here. I wanted the tree to be all the leaves, but not the trunk and not this stuff right here in the back. So I could Control Z a few times, but just to show you what I like to do, sometimes it's easier to just grab it, let's delete it, and I'm just going to start on over, all right? So let's hold Alt, make another copy of it. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. And let's figure out why that happened. Control plus plus plus, spacebar. All right, let's go to our paintbrush here. Let's check out what's going on. I see it. So here, when I tried to fill the leaves, the top part of the tree, the green color came and filled in through this branch. So let's go ahead and close this off. Everything needs to be closed. So there, I closed that. Also, the green will come down here. So let's draw a line there. Also, this is where the green came into here, but I don't want to close it off here. I'm going to, let's go Control Z. I should get my tablet out, but I'm just using my mouse. There's that one. And also the green of the tree will slide in through here. And so let's draw one more right there. All right, let's check to see how this works. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's repeat the process. Select all, object expand appearance, object expand, Pathfinder unite. All right, there we go. Those are all the steps, but let's go and check it. Let's go to our live paint bucket and go to change it to green. Let's go and dump this paint. All right, there we go. We did not color the trunk this time. Let's go ahead and zoom in, see if there's anything else we need. Oh, yep, there's still some more shapes. So everything needs to be a closed shape. You can't have anything, let's take like the letter U. The letter U is open on the top. Take the letter U, you need to close it. Make sure everything looks like an O. Everything has to be closed. So back to our live paint bucket, and I'm going to dump this green right in here, here, here. And then let's do the trunk, but let's change it to brown over here on our swatches. And live paint bucket, drop it, and it's going to fill in that trunk right there. All right. There are two more steps that I want to go over on my website, the last two. Once you're finished, I'm going to click expand, and then I've got to right click, ungroup twice. All right, so let's come back over here. The last thing I'm going to do is when you just have, you can tell it's a live paint because the border is a little bit different. But once we are finished coloring in, I'm going to click expand, right click, ungroup, right click, ungroup, deselect, click off of it somewhere, and then come back and you can see these are all individual pieces that we can now color in. All right, check this out though. Now that they're all individual pieces like this tree trunk, we could add it to a gradient. This is solid color. We'll add it to a gradient. Right now that's black to white. I want to change that. I could change that by just dragging the swatches, drag a color onto my gradient right here. Drag this black off, drag this over to the right. Let's grab some tan, let's say a lighter brown, drag it over here, drag off this one. But now as you can see, the gradient is going from left to right. So there's several ways to do this, but what I find easiest is I'm just going to highlight this and change it to 90 degrees, enter. Well, that's going from dark to light. Let's flip it. I want it the other direction. We could just slide this. I could slide this over and slide this one over, or I can just change this to a -90. There we go. Now we're going to go from bottom to top. All right, there you go. That's how to expand and use the live paint bucket and color in your drawings. Hope that helped. Have fun.